Yo, what's good with it? This is Chris, one of Reggie's sons. I just want to jump on here real quick. Just talk about my dad a little bit, man. Just a heads up. I'm probably going to be rambling, man, but just stick with me for a little bit. You know, so many things that come to my mind when I think about my dad. But I think what sticks out the most is how loved my dad was. Even at a young age, man, no matter where we went, we riding in the car, somebody's beeping at him. We go in the store, he don't get stopped by 5 or 6 people, man. It was just, my dad was one of those guys, man, that everybody gravitated towards and they really loved. And I noticed that from a young age, man, and I always appreciated that about my dad, man. If somebody found out who my dad was, it was always a positive story they want to say. They going, oh, Reggie, your dad? They go into some type of story, man, and I just never heard nothing never heard nothing negative about my dad, man, and I always noticed that, and I appreciate that. You know, my dad, man, his personality, man, his personality really stood out as well, man. He was always himself. He was always authentic. You know, he walk in the room, he gonna be himself, and people gonna gravitate towards him, man. And I love that, man. Personality is unmatched. You know what I mean? And I love that. I don't think I ever seen my dad get too mad. The only time my dad really got mad is if he reneged in spades. That was probably the only time I really seen my dad really get mad, when one of his partners reneged in spades. But other than that, man, my dad kept his cool, man. And in my eyes, Reggie Ragland, the coolest dude on this side of the Mississippi River, man. And, you know, I know he my pops, but he was always there for me, man. I remember I had to do a short film project, so I needed him and mom's help. So I told him, like, I told my mom what I needed from her. Then I went to go tell my dad what I needed from him. And, you know, pops being pops, you know. Hey, man, just put the camera on me, man. I got this. Like, Dad, just listen to me. He said, no, I got this, man. I'm a lesbian. I said, what? So I'm a professional. I'm a lesbian. Like, Dad, it's a thespian. And we cracked up about that, man. But he was dead serious, man. But, you know, I did what Pops told me to do. Put the camera on him, let him improvise. And I can honestly say he killed it, man. He showed my mom up in their acting debuts, man. Matter of fact, let me show y'all a little clip of that real quick.
Let me see here. That time to money again. You get these bills done. Whoa. Light bill? This much. Calvin!
What?
Come here and look at this bill.
What's wrong?
How?
Oh my gosh!
I ain't never seen this bill this high before.
No.
Ever.
Wonder what's, well, the rate hike has gone up, and it's gone up on the lights, the gas, the water, everything's gone up. So now we just got to deal with it.
Everything. Let me see. Oh, I hate to look at this gas bill. Man.
Oh my goodness. What are we going to do?
I don't know. You got any suggestions?
We might have to ask one of our children. We probably have to call Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
He always asking us for money.
I know it. That's all the more reason why we should call him.
I don't get it.
Well, we can just try. We got to do something.
Yeah.
It'll just be one time. One time.
Well, you got. I'm bad at calling because, you know, tell him when he come home.
So that right there, that was Reggie Ragland's acting debut, man, and he killed it, man. I love him for that, man. I'm a cherish those memories, man. You know, my dad was a great dad, excellent dad. But what I loved about my dad was he elevated as a pawpaw. When he became a grandpa, man, I seen him take things to a different level. Like, he did things I ain't never seen him do before. Like, he remembered the grandkids' birthdays. He mailed them Christmas cards, birthday cards, Easter cards. I'm like, I never seen Dad do this before. And if you know my dad, he's really cheap, man. I ain't gonna lie. Pops is cheap. And it shocked me when I used to see him give the kids money. I remember he gave him like $5 each. Not just one of them. He gave them $5 each, and I couldn't believe it. So you know I had to take a picture of that. So let me show you this picture of him giving the kids money. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. Pops, he elevated as a pawpaw, man. I love it. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say too much more. There's so much more I can say. I know I'm on here rambling. But I just want to say, Dad, Pops, Reggie Ragland, I love you. I appreciate you being the man that you was. You taught me so much. You know what I mean? And with the things you taught me, I'm instilling them in my kids. I know you was really big on manners. That's the biggest thing. My pops was big on manners. I make sure my kids got those manners. And, I love you, Dad. And I can't wait to see you again. And one of the last conversations we had, he always told me this. I know I said I was done. But he always told me how proud he was of me as a father. And that always meant a lot to me. A lot of people tell me that, but, coming from my pops, that hit a little different, man. But I appreciate you recognizing me, Dad. I love you. I'm going to see you when I see you. In a minute. Peace.